Hi everyone, welcome to ECEC 203, Current Perspectives on Practice. This is a course about conversations about what's happening in the field, what sits with us in the field, what's uncomfortable with us in the field, and we're going to look at it in terms of the images of children, images of early childhood educators, the images of family and society, the images of pedagogy and curriculum. And so we're going to look at it from a whole lot of different angles. Some of you are familiar to the D2L and the course management system. This is the home page. And every week on the home page, I will post an update and it will show up here so that you know what we're doing, what we've done, where we're heading, what's happening for the next week. The calendar runs on the side over here, and if there's anything that comes up, I'll add it to the calendar as we go along so that you're aware of what things are happening, what are important dates for you as students and within the college system as well. Across the top, we have a series of icons. The content page takes you to the work of the course. You will notice that we start with the overview in the course, just to give you things about ideas about what the course is happening and the general piece of it. We'll go to the course syllabus. The course syllabus gives you a little bit about information about the course. We'll just run through the page really fast, give you time to read it on your own. But looking at common-wide practice about resources that we'll be using, there's no live class for this, and the course outline, just so that you know what the format of the class is all about, the outcomes. There's a bit of a D2L orientation if you haven't had the D2L orientation already. A little bit about me and also about my philosophy and my approaches to work within the course, so do take time to read that. That's an important way to know about how I see the world and how I think about it. Some keys to success about the course. Important college policies. You should take time to read those. They are your policies. The schedule is flexible. We're going to start with we're going to do them in segments. So week 1 and 2 will be the orientation and the introduction welcome. 3, 4, and 5 will be topic 1. 6, 7, and 8 will be on topic 2. 9, 10, and 11 will be on topic 3. 12 and 13 will be the final summary and the final assignment due for the class. So let's just kind of wander back to the table of contents. There we go. I should change my view so that I'm looking at it from a student viewpoint so that you see what I'm seeing. Let me just do that quickly so that you don't see all the things behind the screens. You will notice, so we've been through the course syllabus, the assignments are listed. The first piece is an introduction to me. Just you've read about me, so tell me a little bit about you. Why are you in this course? Why are you taking this course this semester? What do you hope for the course? What will help me help you be successful within the course? Our first assignment is a series of blogs and vlogs. Take time to read it over. We're going to do this a little differently than discussion boards. Each one of us will have a discussion board to run, and we'll post a blog piece. Our thoughts about what's happening. You can do this visually, you can do it as a video, you can do it if you read about blogs and how blogs are created. However you choose to do the written piece, make sure it's visible for everybody to see, and make sure that whatever you post is that you're making connections between the readings and your own lives and experiences, that you're identifying changes that may happen since you started reading some of the material or viewing some of the material. Challenges, the things that worry you about it or questions that you have coming out of this, and ideas and approaches that make sense that you'll carry forward. You have 4 of these to write. You also have to respond to peer postings. So what we're looking for you to do for peer postings is that respond to at least one other. I would like you to respond to everybody's during the week because we have lots of time to engage in the conversations. And if we don't engage in everybody's conversation, then we're missing out on viewpoints on everybody's piece. So make sure that you question something in somebody else's blog respectfully, or that you wonder along with them. It's simply not a matter of going, yeah, I agree with you. It's, wow, I hadn't read that article, but now that I've read your summary of it and read your thoughts of it, I went back and read it, and I'm beginning to think or wonder more about, or in my life, I've seen this and added to it. So make sure that your summary is fairly in-depth. We have 3 weeks for each blogging session to go around. So I've deal, if you first post your original blog by the end of the first week of the topic, then you have time in the second and third week to engage with everybody else's blogs and what they're doing, the conversations that they're having. That's your first assignment, and that's the biggest assignment within the course. It's worth 80% of the course marks, is having the conversation. The final course one is something that we start right off from the beginning. It's a learning journey roadmap. So what we're going to do is look at all the things that we've covered while we're there. We're asking you to create a visual of everything that's happened during your course. Everything you've read from your peers, things you might have brought in from the outside. So it may look like a mind map. It may actually look like a map. Here was my starting point at my house and my computer, and then I took this road reading about images of the children, and I took this detour going over here, and then I came back to this other road to do something else. But we need to make it as visual as possible, and we're looking at remembering that the examples I've shown you are about course roadmaps. We're going to be looking at about program roadmaps. This is just about a course roadmap. And that's it in terms of the assignments for this course. The blogs are the big piece of it, and the roadmap is the second part of the assignment. In week 1 and 2, our first one is starting to build introductions and building a community. And so what we're going to be doing is starting here and reading the idea, but the greatness of a community is not measured by the compassionate members, is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members. We're creating community, the 203 community. So what we're wanting to do here is start to recognize some of the impacts that are on our practice, and the importance of respect and making meaning in learning, and how our values impact what we do within our profession, and just generally look at that part of it. I have 4 articles listed here for us to start with. These are the resources I'd like you to start from in thinking about, what do I think about here? And so what I'd like you to do on your introduction posting is, my name is Patricia. I'd like to go by Patricia during my course, because sometimes legal names and our common names are always the same thing. My relationship to the lands are, I feel most at home on the water. I respect the environment that I live on. I am marveled by ancient trees, ancient rocks, and it wonders and makes me wonder about the people that came before me when I'm walking on the trail. How do you connect to the land? And choose one or some of the resources above to do your introductory posting. Again, remember in your posting, what connections do you draw? What challenges, concepts, and changes and attitudes suggest by this resource? Also, to the Dropbox, remember to put in your first hi, this is me note to Patricia. And that's it. That's the first 2 weeks. So spend time thinking, reading, posting, and responding. So let's take a look at the discussion board, because sometimes that can throw us off a little bit. We have a common space on the discussion board. So looking at common queries and questions, useful links for a topic, professional related resources, anybody can post on them. They will notice that each person has a blog. This is where Ramandeep will post their introduction piece. This is where Edda will post their introduction piece. Piper, Galitas, Ties, Chantel, Winters, Crystal, everybody will post their blog piece there, so that we know that everybody has their blog to post there and set up their piece. So remember that everybody has their own blog as we go along. Everybody has the option, so that when you're reading, that you would go in and the connected pieces are there. And so it'll be Crystal's responsibility to maintain Crystal's blog. They will reply to everybody's posting. They will monitor their postings. They will keep nudging the conversation forward within their blog. But Crystal will also respond to other people's blogs, so that we keep the conversation connected and moving all the way through. I think that's about it. Right now, I think for the discussion board, I think that's it for now. Yeah, I think that should, common spaces, everybody's threads, we're all good. So that gets us the beginning of ECE 203. It's a conversation course. Welcome to the conversation.